things. In your high school years, and then again in your college years, you do this tutoring with kids, and today, despite your young age, you're serving on committees and boards that continue to do the same thing. I know you said this came from the relationship you had with your bigger brother and with your other siblings, seeing them go in one direction or the other. Is there anything else that brought you to this need to help others?
Well, yes. I mean, I think that is the best way, the most efficient and most effective way to improve the lives of people who came from my situation. To kind of, I was talking about how the lines now are mostly drawn along along lines of class, and the best way to kind of create more gray area is to give back, and to not just to say okay, you can go to whatever college you want to go to, but to actually have someone who did what Professor O'Neill did for me, which was to be an example, someone to look to and say, okay, I can be like that person. I can be successful in my own way. I can go to college. I can actually do something with my life because this person did it and they came from where I came from. And I think in terms of Black leadership, I think that is the most important aspect of Black leadership, is to actually serve as a role model and to go back into the communities and to give back in whatever way, whether it's tutoring or through programs like legal outreach or through mentoring. And I don't buy into what some people say, which is that at some point you have to be able to go off and focus on your profession, which is one of my major gripes with Clarence Thomas, which I feel like he may not have said it outright, but reading biographies of him and reading some of his statements, he seems to be almost bothered by the fact that people expect him to do something for his community, and to not just be a Supreme Court justice and that's it, but to actually try to make a difference for Blacks, and to support some affirmative action programs that he himself benefited from, and to leave the door open for other people who are also in these communities. And I think that's one thing that drew me to the Ron Brown program in particular, besides the actual scholarship, was that Ron Brown said, one of his most famous quotes was that when you become successful and you reach a certain level of success in your profession, it's extremely important that you leave the ladder down for others to follow. And that really hits home for me, and that's what I try to do and try to accomplish by being on different scholarship boards and by mentoring and tutoring. And I've been back to my old high school and my grade school and other inner city programs, and I give speeches where I tell kids I was headed down a terrible path, and I was more likely to have ended up in prison than where I am today. But I realized, because of the role models that were in my life, that I deserved better, and that they deserve better as well, and that it is actually possible to come from the projects and to come from nothing, and to go to Yale University and to have a career at the New York Times or wherever they would like.
Listening to you and other people who participate